almost not the same without the kazoo.
I thought I'm muted. You had to mention the kazoo.
I was gonna
never said a word.
use it anyway, but
I only play the coffee maker
professionally. Actually, you're full of shit. You play a pretty mean guitar, actually.
Yeah, I used to take lessons. I used to be serious about it. And it's like now I'll play once every 3 months, every 6 months, and I'll get back into it for like a month, then I'll stop again. It's just stupid of me.
He says this shit, then and we're in a record store, and he picks up a guitar, he's like, oh, and he kicks it out, and he's like,
Yeah, I mean, I got my guitar right here. It's just I don't play it enough. It just sits there. I think it's tuned. No, it's not tuned.
Sound like it.
It's not tuned. I'll come back to you with that.
No worries. Welcome, Jesse, to the show. A common guest here on the show as well as Rob. How you doing, Rob?
oh, fantastic! Getting better all the time.
My partner in crime, who I couldn't get a hold of. The Cheech to my Chong, the Sonny to my Cher, and you're fired.
You're fired. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
Because you didn't get back to me in time.
The jets into your space, Lee.
That's right. Sister Harold sends in an Australian $5 super chat. Says finally able to catch a live stream. Well, glad to hear that, Sister Harold. It has been a while since we've seen you in a MEAD stream. And Culture Casino sent in a $1.49 super sticker before that. Thank you, Culture Casino, our good friend. He's the one who did that intro you just watched. Also with us today is the resident physician script doctor. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How's everybody doing today?
I don't know. You're the doctor. You're supposed to tell me.
Oh, you sound pretty good.
Oh, okay. I don't have the coof. Sounds good. And Rob, will you introduce our one and only Mecha Random? You got the music.
And
What's bad coming out from your end?
your favorite YouTube harpy. She's an ESPY, an Emmy, a Tony, a Bammy, a BAFTA. She's an Earl and OBE, which makes her an heirloom. The 42 in your program, number one in your heart, Miss Mega Random.
Happy birthday, Donnie.
And
Happy
even if I
birthday.
have the coof, I was told it was no big deal in January, so fuck getting tested now. It was no
Exactly.
big deal in January when I was worse. So.
In February or December, I was coughing blood. They gave me a Z-Pack, then I was fine in a week.
Yeah.
I'm a smoker.
So, if you haven't heard already, Hollywood's canceled.
Good.
Yeah, no good.
Next.
Everything is canceled, as we were saying before.
Who care? I mean, they've been calling us ists and phobes for how long now? Fuck them.
Hey, you know what? That just means more movie to give to indie producers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they can get a distribution deal for theaters, which, again, not looking good for those guys, unfortunately.
Now, my buddy Sunny Cat, he sent me a thing today that they're closing down theaters.
Yeah, that's actually a good segue. That's a good place to start. Because I think that's where a lot of this started. It was like a chain reaction, domino effect, what have you. We've seen Wonder Woman and a few other movies pushed back already. Black Widow, all the Disney slate. We all pretty much assumed the same thing was going to happen to Dune and a few other movies, which we predicted, rightfully so, as it was pushed to October this morning. Or this afternoon, we heard. In other news, though, yeah, Cinemark, aka what's their American Regal?
Regal.
Yeah, they're having some financial troubles, just like AMC here, Rob. It looks like. Let's start there.
Well, Cinemark's
first of
closing now. Do you have that
First
one?
of all, Tom, I gotta say, of course, I was very saddened by the announcement that Dune was going to be delayed. This was my reaction. This is my reaction to the news that Dune is going to be delayed.
There goes the.
Oh, God.
Hey, I got
I'm
the
okay
community
with that.
guidelines strike for doing that. Stop.
just keep talking to mute out, drown out the music.
No, that's no joke, folks. Like that's why there has not been any Mead radio.
Yeah. Well,
Somebody
Ellie,
They've been
hit
moving
me
from
with a
claims to
community
strikes.
no a community guidelines warning.
Oh yeah, I got one of those.
What'd you get? Yeah, but you probably got it for good reason, Jesse, because you're an asshole.
Yeah, I did.
Like
We
you
were
probably
watching
got it for the
cartoons.
actual reason. No, you got a community guideline strike for watching cartoons.
The 80s / early 90s drug awareness PSA that starred Alf and the Ninja Turtles and everybody
that
else.
shouldn't have been.
That
Dude.
I think
show.
they do it if you're live and doing a lot of copywritten stuff live, then they'll get you.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because the second they kept blacking out the screen
Well,
and we were
what's
making a
stupid
joke out of it. The second
is-
we came back, I hit
Is
play
the stream
again.
just before that is actually still live? Like you can actually still watch it. Any other time those are blocked.
somebody had it in for you, Tom.
I think so.
Yeah. Somebody has it in
Probably
for
the
you.
same thing for Jesse, actually.
Yeah, well, who cares?
Yeah.
You guys have an actual channel here. Mine is not even at 1,000 yet.
Yeah.
I could always rebuild a lot quicker than you. Or actually, you could rebuild quicker than me. But ratio wise, you know what I mean.
Well, Midnight's Edge After Dark has never been huge. Like we did this before all the other guys were doing their live channels, so like nobody ever gave a shit about us. We were just saw as the koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given, koala.
Did you make that?
No, that's
Because that kind of sounded like Rob.
no, it does though, doesn't it?
Koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain.
How come you can play that one and you can't play completely?
Because the people who
Dude.
make koalas in the rain don't have any money to come at you with.
No, it had nothing to do with copyrights, though. Nothing in community guidelines has anything to do with copyrights. It has everything to do with hate speech.
Did you play Fuck the Police or something?
No, I didn't even play Money for Nothing. I was playing Live Crew earlier than that, but it was the cut version even. So I guess they got problems with coochies. But yeah, as Mecca was saying, Cinemark also has a few things to do with this. But we'll jump to that part after this. First of all, Rob, give us the quick rundown here about what's going on with Cineworld, aka Regal.
Cineworld could close all Regal cinemas, UK venues in response to No Time to Die delay. That was the thing. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I thought I said that, but I guess I didn't.
Yeah, they were counting on the Bond movie to make money, keep them afloat. Cineworld could shutter 545. Cineworld could shutter 543 of its Regal cinema venues in the US and all cinemas across the UK and Ireland this coming week, just the day after James Bond film. Just the day after James Bond film, not the James Bond film, just the day after James Bond film. I mean, yeah, Kim Jong-il wrote this. The day after.
Manavari Ravindran. I don't know who that is.
Just the day after the James Bond film, No Time to Die was pushed to April 21, 2021. On Sunday afternoon, UK time, Cineworld confirmed that it's considering temporary closure of its UK and US cinemas, and that the final decision hasn't been reached yet. Has it been reached? Has there been an update to this?
Not for them, but Mecca did send us the CBR one. We're going to jump
Yeah, the
into right after
Cinemark
this.
one. Well, Cinemark and Cineworld are different ones.
Yeah.
CBR is always good for a laugh. Variety understands that the staff were informed of the Cineworld's plans on Sunday ahead of the company's statement, with HR explaining that the closure of all cinemas is one option that is strongly being considered, though a decision hasn't been made yet. Cineworld Cinemas tweet, "We can confirm that we are considering the temporary closure of our UK and US cinemas, but a final decision has not yet been reached. Once a decision has been made, we will update all staff and customers as soon as we can." That's me trying to sound very official. Variety understands from sources that the chain may close all sites in both countries as early as this week. Regal is the second largest domestic chain in the US, while Cineworld is the UK's biggest cinema operator. In the UK, Cineworld is understood to be writing to Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Culture Secretary Oliver Dowden this weekend to explain that the exhibition sector is unviable due to studios delaying tentpoles as a result of anxious audiences steering clear of cinemas amid the global pandemic.
You should probably read this as a Brit. It just feels like it should be.
The cinema closures will put up to 5,500 jobs at risk in the UK.
It does
Sources-
make the news easier to handle.
Sources indicate a reopening date hasn't yet been set, but cinemas could stay closed until 2021. The swift move by the Mookie Grindiger run chain. Let's just bask in that. Mookie Grindiger.
That sounds so British.
Sounds made up.
Sounds
Made
made up.
up Frank soap dish.
Sounds just like Scripps made up Canadian girlfriend.
Let me tell you.
We name a sim.
You got the
Let me
maple
tell you,
fever.
Mookie Grindinger. Mookie Grindinger, the best second baseman that the Astros ever had. No.
That does sound like an old baseball player nickname.
Yeah.
You expected to get that.
Ken Griffey's enormously slow
I'm done.
jaw.
I'm out. We're done. 17 minutes in, we're out. We're done.
The swift move by Mookie Grindinger chain, whose UK closures were first reported by the Sunday Times, follows Friday's bombshell bond announcement. Though there had been speculation that No Time to Die could move from its November 12th and November 20th slots in the UK and North America, respectively, many in the industry, including several global
it did
exhibitors,
move.
indeed it did, believed it would ultimately hold firm. Its new date of April 2, 2021 has come as a distressing shock to the exhibition sector, which is starved of vital blockbusters to bring audiences back to movie theaters. Okay, I can't keep that accent up for
Nah,
long.
it's cool. You actually do a pretty good job, though. At least
Actually,
in my opinion.
maybe I should read it in a German accent now. It's Papa Iger. Hello, this is Papa Iger.
No, he
How
just
are you?
sounds condescending.
That's right. That's how German people sound. They come very condescending.
I'm so much better than you.
I'm so much better than you. You Americans are stupid. Cineworld staff were informed of the company's decision in advance of Saturday's news. Cineworld Action Group, a collective of employees supported by entertainment union Bectu, tweeted on Saturday that there has been no consultation with staff whatsoever. News of the closures first emerged via a preview of the Times front page, posted late Saturday night. And cinema giant to shut after Double Seven fiasco. We have found vital information about our jobs from the media throughout the pandemic. Workers have been left out of discussions that should have included our voices. However, in this case, it goes beyond belief. To find out you may no longer have a job from the media is awful. Cineworld shock move. Okay, it comes a year and a half, yada, yada, yada. Cineworld opened stores 4-month shutdown in July, yada, yada. No time
How
to
do you
die.
think the rest of us feel? We found out we don't have a life anymore because through the media. I mean,
Pretty much. Okay,
Well, now
norm-
it affects somebody who's, not the plebeians. So,
Mhm.
plebeians?
Okay, this plebeians, the plebs. This is more yada yada yada, and okay, but let's move on.
Let's move on to the other one. Yeah.
Cinemark has no plans to reshutter. Now, do I have to read this as a CBR staff member? Despite Regal and Cinema's announcements to shut down of the U.S. location, Cinemark says they will keep their theaters open.
Are you gonna have a meltdown?
This is
Aaron aneurysm.
how people sound like when they work for CBR. Everything has a kind of upward inflection to it.
Mark Hamill's like, he's right.
Every time I see Mark Hamill there, I just think in his eyes are just saying, am I going to get away with choking him?
And the answer is yes.
Yeah, it would be yes. He should have.
How
That
dare
guy's
you?
ass.
How dare you question the brilliance of Ryan Johnson?
That sounds almost exactly like Ryan Johnson right there.
Pretty close. Yeah.
It is pretty close, actually. I just wanted to make a Star Wars movie.
Just want to make a Star Wars movie. That was the first.
I like the Star Wars. I like all the Star Wars.
I like all the Star Wars. Cinemark's reopening plan was designed with multiple contingencies in place to ensure we are able to be nimble and react as needed to this ever-changing environment, Cinemark said in a statement delivered to The Hollywood Reporter. We do not currently have plans to close our U.S. theaters and are continuing to align with demand, including reducing operating hours and days while we await new studio content to encourage theatrical moviegoing.
In other words, they ain't doing shit till Hollywood starts releasing some movies.
That's right.
Mhm.
I may just stop in the Cinemark and go buy popcorn.
Can I ask you boys, where does AMC fall into all this?
China.
That's where I usually go to the movies because it's the closest one and shit.
China.
Do you have a gong sound? I need a gong sound.
Yeah. The thing that bothered me was after Sonny sent me that article, I hopped right on my AMC app, and the first thing I see is Friday the 13th, 40th anniversary. So, okay, click on that. The one closest, oh, sorry, no showtimes found. Next one, sorry, no showtimes found. Next one, oh, sorry, no showtimes found. And it just continues like that. You can't even, I don't even know if they're playing this in Connecticut.
Okay, that's a very disappointing gong sound I found. Damn it.
Gotta get one from the Gong Show.
And it's like somebody said today, Hocus Pocus is number one. And it's like, well, that's because that's the movie they're actually playing. I don't get it.
Huh.
Well, movie theaters don't make money. We've covered this before. They don't make money from showing the actual movie. They make money from concessions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're paying
Bag of popcorn and a couple of sodas shouldn't be $30.
Actually, with these re-releases, they probably take in a lot more of the box office.
They usually do, and it's not just with concessions. A lot of the theaters also rent out sections for restaurants to come in and put up their own little shops. So there's like little like pizzerias or poutineries or whatever you have throughout, at least in Canada and a couple places in LA that are pretty good. They make their money off those rental fees as opposed to just their plain old concessions.
Yeah. Well, and they do more than movies anymore. Like they do boxing events and other things too. So
they show Olies. Yeah, they show freaking
concerts and basketball games.
Cinemark was showing the BBC Proms thing. I don't know what that is.
And Adam Wilford sends in $2. Says, "Hey, have you heard that Dune is delayed till 2021 October?" Yes, we did. That was what we headed off the show with.
That's almost too impressive.
Hey, a lot of you guys in the down in the chat, you might be interested in this one. They are going to be playing The Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary.
Oh, good. Cool.
So there is that. I mean, a lot of there's a million people out there who's never seen the original Star Wars movies on a big screen.
And you still will have to wait to see the original Star Wars movies on a big screen because it's a special edition. But anyway,
yeah. Oh God. Don't you get that you have to search special for things that are unedited?
I didn't hear a word you said because Rob was gonging.
He's gonging. Yeah, don't you hate when you have to search extra for things that are unedited? It's like the same thing with Star Trek. I mean, if you get the original TOS, you have to get the ones in the different color plastic boxes in the gold, blue, and red because the other ones are digitally modified.
No, they have the original versions on there too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought the blue.
Oh, on the enhanced ones, they also have the normal ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
I gotta say though that the enhanced ones are actually pretty darn good, even though, like I said, it's not. They didn't butcher them like they didn't butcher like Lucas butchered Star Wars.
Oh,
They actually-
they didn't put in like some weird singing alien.
No, it's
they
all.
definitely did not.
It all
No.
makes sense.
No, a lot
For
of it was
iMud, they fixed up some of the Android special effects for Norman, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, you can find probably YouTube videos where they compare the two. They don't
Yeah.
nearly go to the extent that Lucas did with Star Wars at all.
There are a couple instances where I do like the original effects better, like in where No Man Has Gone Before. You have this nice bow shot of the Enterprise as it enters the cloud, and that's gone in the new version. I'm like, yeah, I kind of wish you would kept that one. So, but anyway.
But yeah, all this comes on the heels of a buttload of movies being pushed and canceled, or not canceled, but pushed anyway. Including Dune, of course, which we talked about. so we might as well go there first. That's delayed until October. And Rob don't care. But the bigger news here, and this is where the No Time to Die comes in. Universal pushed its slate back. Oh, we got Scotty.
Scotty.
Apparently, you could see the New Mutants.
Where would we be without Scotty Mendelbaum? Mendelbaum? Whatever his name is.
He's just making excuses for the whole Hollywood crap where it's like, seriously, okay, yeah, they're going to make a lot of money, but who cares? I don't want to be called an istinophobe when this movie flops, if it flops. Because you got Lashana Lynch coming in as a 00. Fuck off, Mendelsohn.
I've seen every James Bond movie except for like the Daniel Craig ones. I've only seen 2 of those, but I used to watch those movies ad nauseum. Like I used to be able to just recite them in order too, but I can't do that anymore. Yeah. But of course, Sean Connery is the best Bond. Timothy Dalton was a great Bond. Even Roger Moore was really good. You know?
Yeah.
Then Pierce Brosnan changed Bond to a more modern version of Bond. And after that, they went like gritty with Daniel Craig, and I wasn't digging the gritty. Because James Bond, any one of these things James Bond does, you know what that is in real life? Somebody who's dedicated their life to that one thing. If somebody could go down a mountain backwards on one ski, shooting a bunch of bad guys, and then land by parachute into a submarine or something, or into a raft, somebody trained their whole life for that. It's not just something else you know how to do. You know, he's a fantastical character.
I when I go see a Bond movie, I kind of want to. I want to see something that I've never seen before.
Yeah,
you know, that was always the thing. You were going to see something spectacular. You were going to see that big, the big Union Jack parachute as he skied off the cliff. You were going to see, or you were going to see him like whatever,
drive a half of a car around.
A satellite dish the size of a lake, like just coming out and having a big set piece on that.
That was sick.
Yeah. Well, like that, like Goldeneye was kind of like the last of the old guard of Bond. It was the transition.
Totally agree.
Willie Woodward, $5. Hey guys, split between Tom's Taco Fund, Rob's Quicksand P-Sub, Jesse's Booze Fund, Mecca's Herb Fund, and Script Splurge on your imaginary girlfriend.
I'll take Mecca's Herb Fund because she just gets goddamn edibles anyway.
Yeah, but they're stronger. Did Rob tell you what happened?
They work different though.
No, I freaked out.
Not surprised. I'm not a fan of the edibles.
You should have taken much, much more. It would have leveled everything out. Then you just
don't you know what the cure for more cocaine is?
More cocaine.
Peruvian marching powder.
Do some more. It'll level you out.
I couldn't imagine myself on cocaine. I'd probably be so annoying. It's not funny.
Jesse, you would probably kill somebody on cocaine.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. It's bad. We have to say that as a disclaimer.
Yep, you gotta get the right drugs and give them to the right people. Comedy, parody, satire.
You'd probably get in a fight with some homeless guy in Vegas if you were on cocaine.
I know. I didn't start that. The other homeless kid, I bought him dinner.
You egged him on, though.
Yeah, well, that's me.
Well, speaking of
let things go.
Speaking of Star Trek Las Vegas, we got to talk about that a little bit later.
Oh yeah, that thing that's not happening.
Yeah. Just avoid.
I don't think that's happening.
All men in dresses, and you'll be fine.
But yeah, so basically to finish off this whole bit though about Hollywood, Rob, all these release dates are being pushed back. No surprise. Do you even think that Wonder Woman's coming out in December?
No.
Coming out in December.
Who's going to be able to see it? Who's going to be able to see it to even bother? Nothing's open.
Well, let's see.
Well, the funny thing is, things are open in smaller areas. It just seems to be, the bigger areas where they got to keep the narrative going. That's the only places that shit's closed. Like last weekend, I could have went and seen Superman at the drive-in, the 78 Donner film. You know,
Oh, envious.
That's not bad.
I already
kinda
have it
cool.
in 4K, but I was just like, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
but
wanna-
it's member
Yeah,
berries.
when you can see Christopher Reeve as Superman and he's like 17 feet tall.
True.
It was also freezing this weekend up here too, so there's no way.
Mhm.
Jorge Burgos Jr. sends in $2. Weird thing is, Empire is the least special edition. Yeah, that has the least annoyances in it, but it also has some shit that's changed for no good reason.
I'll just
Yeah, they
assume
didn't need to
would just
redo
take,
the Emperor bit in that.
Well, not just that. There's little stupid
did?
shit like when R2 gets spat out. He's like, "You're lucky to get out of there alive." In the special edition, the original
Yeah, it
one, they
originally
just
says
said,
you're lucky it didn't taste very good.
yeah, you're lucky it didn't taste very good, which was funnier and made more sense. But anyway, yeah, because he makes it more sadistic if you say that a droid's alive and you wipe their memories all the time and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we won't get down that road.
That's an entire argument for another show
yeah.
about AI intelligence and having a soul.
Everybody's going to be in come November. Everybody's going to be locked in their house with what's going on, and they're going to be playing the PS5 or their Xbox S or whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah, if we can get our damn hands on them.
Yeah, well, Hollywood is going to, that's the big thing is people, like I said, people are going to care after a while, and people already stopped caring, I think. So.
Yeah, hopefully this winter the only thing keeping you in the house is the 2 feet of snow outside and a Merry Christmas.
Are you kidding? Christmas is canceled.
Christmas is never canceled.
Christmas is canceled. Thanksgiving's canceled.
Look, all you have to do is buy a tree, put some shit on it while you're watching Die Hard 2, and
I'm not
then
so
Christmas Day you have to watch Die Hard.
I'm not
And
so
Elf.
upset about I'm not so upset about Thanksgiving other than the food.
How do you cancel Thanksgiving?
You don't. People will still have it in their own homes.
Of
They'll be like,
course.
you know what? Screw this. We've been locked in long enough. Screw this.
Well, we're getting to that point
It's
anyway.
like half the time the parade they got to run the balloons so damn low because they make them so big now that they'll do serious damage to street posts and kill people on the way down the street. And then you got football, and like if you're a football guy, there's still football, right?
Larry
Kind of?
said, well, kind of. Yeah, Larry sends in $2. Skip this one too, right? Why did you skip? Did I miss one of yours, Larry?
What? Did they? I don't think so. Maybe. Let me go.
He might mean Bond. He might mean Bond.
Got Will Yates.
But Ron Burnett is right. We haven't seen Daniel Craig really be in a Bond movie. It's been in
No, we have
these.
not.
Unless he's talking about the movie. Let me know, Larry, because if I missed one
Yeah,
of
I
yours,
think he's
I'm
talking about
sorry.
the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hope I didn't. I don't think I did. So, but let me know for sure. Yeah,
Freaking
sorry,
the
Rob.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's okay. The Dark Knight and freaking Jason Bourne have ruined Bond movies. I mean, because now everybody just wants to emulate that style with the quick cuts and everything, and just make a free and keep saying Austin Powers has ruined Bond movies because directors are afraid all the traditional Bond tropes are going to look stupid. Like, no, they're not. They're going to look cool. That's why Austin Powers did them. It's because
Austin Powers did them and did them with by building a joke out of it. If you keep it serious, in the context of the film, people will buy into it because that's what films do. They sell you that this world is real for the next 2 hours, and just roll with it. But my personal opinion is to keep Bond in the 60s. Just keep it a period piece spy thriller.
That's what I think they should do, but I'm not even a fan. So,
well, I want to see a Bond movie where he's strapped to a table with a giant laser. I want to see the two huge armies duking it out. I want to see like some madman with a nuke who's going to set it off and is going to destroy Washington D.C. I want to see
a
like
crazy field of ninjas being trained by the bad guy and Bond trying to sneak in.
Exactly.
You know what? Goldfinger would have killed him on that laser table if he didn't listen to Bond.
That's right.
He got out of that with his mouth, not with his tech.
Yeah, with any kind of gadgets. Yeah, I want to see the hidden volcano layer. Okay.
Fuck yeah, tearjerker style.
you guys want to see something cool?
Or a layer at the center of the earth.
Look, I got in the mail today.
Oh, you got some Cobra Kai shit?
Oh, these are the original.
Oh, are they?
Are those
Remco.
Amigos or?
The Remcos, yeah.
Oh, Renkos.
I
They're
can't
not
remember
even
who put them up in
discolored at
Canada,
all.
but- No, they're in pretty good shape. I paid way too much. I guess the kicking action on Daniel doesn't
Always-
work, but
No.
it's got some other accessories and stuff with them too. But I thought that was cool.
That is pretty cool.
As a kid.
And
Needs more shelves.
I do. Well, I'm moving into a bigger house. This place is tiny. My dog is going nuts.
The entire house is just going to be shelves and memorabilia.
It'll be like Kramer's apartment, but like with more rooms.
Yeah, he had a hot tub in there.
Well, I showed you the super shredder I got the other day or last week.
Yeah, and that reminded me of when I ordered from FYE the nice looking shredder and splinter and the 2 foot soldiers. I never got them. I can't find the email. I'm screwed.
Hopefully they didn't charge you. That's why I use PayPal.
Yeah, they charged me.
I use PayPal for anything I can online. You're a little bit more protected that way.
Yep.
But all right. What was our next bit of business here? You guys were already kind of talking about it. I forgot. Star Trek. I don't think we're gonna get a Star Trek Las Vegas. I think it's canceled.
Good. Well,
need to
they do
come
have the New
party
York
with
panel.
me.
They have what?
The New York panel.
Well, that's why
that's
I say this.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a pre-recorded deal.
I know.
Wait,
It's gonna be
Exactly.
It's gonna be exactly like the last one where they're like, we're the first people ever to have diversity, and we're so much better than that old racist white dude Star Trek.
Yeah.
You mean the wait, what?
That was under 51.
Yo, the Star Trek cast is like a bag of fucking Skittles.
Oh, I know.
For
Wait,
God's
there's
sake.
81 dislikes already.
Yo, I don't know how you
Wow.
do that lower deck shit because that looks
51.
like
When I
that.
made my video, it was at 41 this
Ugh.
morning.
That
That
is-
do an update.
But that just shows you how can they deny this shit anymore?
No.
I don't
Read the
know how she
comments, they're
sits
great.
through it.
Did I
Fucking
go over?
terrible.
Did I miss another super chat now? Because Willie's saying something. Are super chats not coming up again?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no,
looked.
I'm in the
Empire?
live chat on the YouTube.
And you're not
everything
seeing
looks like it's
anything? Okay, all right. As long as there's all right.
Yeah,
They're just fucking with me.
Well,
React to your super chat? We did, didn't we?
I did. I read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let me read some of these comments. Another pre-recorded panel. No thanks. Lower Decks is a terrible show, and the same with Disco. Please call by its proper name, STD. CBS, please make some Trek that is at least watchable. Not Star Trek. NYCC shouldn't support this trash. Right. Kurtzman has turned Trek into utter garbage. Garbage. And this is where I chime in. At this point, it would have to aspire to be garbage.
Yeah.
Basically,
Well,
you just quote that Klingon from The Trouble with Tribbles, and he's talking about Star Trek as opposed to the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Well,
said super shredder, not super chat. My bad.
Okay. Well, I've watched every episode of this. The jokes are flat, meaning Lower Decks. The jokes are flat. The humor is mean spirited, and references come off someone doing a Google search. I honestly gave this one its chance, and even see the occasional attempt at something. I'm trying to break the surface, saying that this is the closest to actual Star Trek that Secret Hideout has come is actually very accurate, but far from a compliment. I feel sorry for the people that actually like this train wreck. That is about as nice as I know how to be, and no, I really don't care what the Trekkies think.
No, we're already limited. What the fuck?
Limited, probably because they're cool in the gang.
No, just they hate us.
Because you're informing people about the current situation.
I can't even
They don't want
fucking fight it. Dirty bastards.
Passages. But
Probably
yeah,
'cause I'm
I mean,
canceled in the title. That's why.
with this whole thing, I mean, come on, you don't even have the courage to do this live. I mean, just because people are going to insult you doesn't mean you have to respond to them. You have that option.
Daryl.
Daryl, yeah.
The problem is when you're somebody like me, though, you get like 17 that you don't respond to, and then you'll get like one that's like, okay, that's it. This is the last fucking straw. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem.
It's,
So for
you know,
everyone you don't respond to, for every response you get, I see, you know, for like all these Twitter fights and flame wars and shit, it is people's last straw a lot of the time. You know, it's like, okay, we're sick of this shit. And that's where it starts flaring up, because look at what happened with Star Trek recently. It's like everybody's last straw. We're tired of this crap. That's what got me into all it. It was the Ghostbusters, and you know, just every time if you don't like something, you have to be a sexist. Are you stupid? You have to be a racist. How? You know?
And you know what? That one brought a lot of people into saying no, screw you, because it was such a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah.
Like they kept promoting it, they kept pushing it. They even got guys do cameos that meant jack shit to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible, just terrible film. Looked like Scooby-Doo too.
Yeah. And
Also
it's like,
terrible.
okay, it's fine if you want to be your own thing, but quit coming in and taking every chance you get to go and remind me of the thing that's better, that you're insulting me for liking and for preferring, and that you feel superior to just because you're on this, you know, fucking side of history where you think white people are superior to other people or something, and you have to go burn down black businesses and communities to protest it or something. That's all I see. That's all I see, right? Because I see it from a very alien point of view and a very outside of the normal human existence sort of perspective sometimes. And when I see these people going, you know, they're so holier than thou, but they're just such full of shit. They are the dumbest, lowest common denominator people spouting this nonsense and this garbage. Normal people say, you know what, we're just going to stay away from this. And they stay home. And then they stop going to the movies. They stop going to watch the shows. And what happens? People like Script Doctor are out of jobs. People who are at the craft services are out of jobs. People like my friend's mother, who's a hairdresser, go get out of jobs because in Hollywood, because these fucking high and mighty studio heads and they're garbage people who are allies to them, because that's how they refer to themselves now. They're allies. All of these garbage people are going around blaming us for their own fucking failures, blaming us for them just being wrong. They're just flat wrong. They don't understand the things that they're preaching, and they're so hypocritical and hateful. They don't understand that, you know, infinite diversity means diversity of opinion as well. It means accepting people who might not see things the way you do, or might not be as good as you in your opinion. You know, this is just bullshit. And this goes back to the Hollywood is over sort of rant. I did in my video. I'm basically ranting about this too. They're responsible for this. It is their own fucking fault that these industries are dying.
Well, you know, it's like almost two overlapping things, because what we could just refer to as the IST system that they have. That's just for brainwashing.
Yeah.
Right. And
That's
all these people are only taught cyclical logic. So no matter what is said in the conversation, they go back to the same things. That's why we started calling them NPCs. Right. But they're just doing that so they could keep you in a loop long enough for them to say for you to say something that they could latch onto and complain about.
Oh yeah.
And try to dogpile on.
Oh yeah, and
as long as you it's just utterly ridiculous, because it's all for an agenda.
As long as you don't apologize for anything, and as long as you just keep spinning it back on them, like I'm pretty good at that. As long as you keep, I think this is where a lot of people get canceled. This is where a lot of people get canceled, because you've got this hateful logic circle just consuming itself. It's a snake eating its own tail constantly.
They eat each other all the time.
And they've got to keep going and consuming the next snake and the next snake until there's none left, because they're all just as despicable. They're all just as hateful. And the people who apologize have shit to apologize for. Right, those people who really do apologize, like they usually not in every circumstance, but they're usually just like, look at fucking Alyssa Milano and those people. Then they go around for apologizing and demonizing other people. Right, they go around doing that for their own stupid shit, like Brie Larson in her fucking racist movie. Right, Brie Larson and Basmati Blues, which was an actual racist movie. right? It was entertaining as fuck, and she was actually pretty decent in it. But nevertheless, it came in and painted her like this white savior type, and she has been virtue signaling to Hollywood ever since they called her out for it.
Alyssa Milano made me laugh my ass off because she was one of these defund the police people. Then some kid is walking around in his own backyard with a pellet gun, and she calls the cops on him. Next thing you know, there's a helicopter in the air. Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a potato gun or something. It was an airsoft.
Yeah, there you go. Like, that's not even a pellet
either
gun.
way, it just shows the hypocrisy of these fuckers.
All the
Ian
time.
Slater sends in $5. There is an NCIS Halloween episode that has a character dressed as an actual Klingon. This was after CBS bought the rights and before STD. CBS never bought any rights.
Yeah.
What happened was there was a split, and CBS and Viacom and Paramount were always the same company for the last, what, Rob, 20, 30 years now?
About 20 years, because they were Gulf Western for the first Star Trek film, and then they became Viacom, I think, for the following, for Wrath-Con and Wrath-On.
Yeah, Paramount was a Gulf Western company for a long ass time.
Yeah,
and they got,
and then National Amusements bought them out, which would have been
Redstone.
I mean, they used to own Paramount. Used to own Madison Square Garden. They used to own the New York Knicks. They used to own the New York Rangers. They used to own
Six
They
Flags.
owned a number of theme parks throughout the entire continent.
Yeah, I mean, so people think Paramount, but no, Paramount was a big company.
Paramount was a big company in the 80s, especially
in the 80s. It was still fiscally viable in the 90s, and then it was the turn of the century where stuff went down the hill, down the crapper.
Yeah, at one time Star Trek was a big deal for them. And the thing with the split was CBS ended up with all the classic Star Trek rights. There's still like a little bit of an argument in between, like, and I wouldn't say argument, disagreements on where the rights line fell after the split, because I believe the movies fell on the Paramount side.
I believe so too. Yes.
Even though Andre and other people say that they fell on the old Trek side of things, I think that's how they were able to get away with using things from the movies in the JJ Trek, is because the movies were still under Paramount, was what I was getting to. Anyway, Rob, go ahead.
From what we were able to find, CBS got the rights to the name, the IP, and all that stuff, but Paramount could keep the movies. All the movies that they had made. That's how it was split, because Paramount was, movie company. That's how it seemed to line up. But they couldn't make any more. That was originally the deal.
Yeah, they couldn't make any films based off of the television series after the split. That was my understanding of it as well.
Yeah. That's pretty close. So they had to go groveling to CBS and Les Moonves. Well, you want to make movies about this Star Trek? We own Star Trek. We do. Okay, I don't give a shit.
That's the one with lightsabers, right?
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one with that Luke Skyjacker. That's that one. That ham salad kid. I liked him. That kid. That the kid from Mosquito Coast. Yeah, that kid. Yeah. So
it's pretty good.
I don't know what Les Moonves sounds like, so that's what I imagine him sounding like.
Probably
sounds like a real boring son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's that story that he walked in and Star Wars is on. That's one of ours, right? We getting a check for that? What's going on here? What the hell is this shit, huh?
Again, you're not going to know every single
Rob Roy.
But...
Julie, where the hell's my Rob Roy? Get over here.
I think that's where a lot of the problem comes from, is a lot of these executives and corporations, and I always refer to it as the McDonaldization of basically Hollywood, where they turn everything so corporate and nobody has any passion or understanding of what the fuck they're making. They just think, oh, I can make it like Star Wars and we can put it in the Happy Meals and we can crank out all these toys and DVDs and people will just buy them because they're a bunch of fucking nerds. Right? That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Film is product. That's what they want. Yeah. Film as product.
And I cannot stand that mentality. It's like, I'm sorry if I don't want just a mindless corporate garbage thing. This is why I don't listen to pop music. This is why I don't like pop movies. This is why I don't like a lot of the stuff that I do end up having to talk about on the channel. Like, because they just fuck it up so much. They don't have a lot of passion for these things. It is rare, few and far between these properties have any sort of passion in them.
You know, I was writing. I've been working on the GI Joe documentary, and actually, there's actually a thing where I covered this about the whole thing with the Transformers, and the Transformers, the movie, they got a mandate from Hasbro. Kill off these characters. We want you to kill off these characters. We want you to introduce a whole new all these other characters. And one of the guys who wrote Flint Dilley said, you know, we were just doing what we were told. And Ron Friedman, veteran television writer, had to go into Hasbro and argue, no, you can't do this. And they were like, why not? It's because people are attached to these characters. I wrote them.
That's why they watch the show.
Yeah, exactly. People are attached to these characters. They love these characters. They think of Optimus Prime as this benevolent, beloved father figure. You can't kill these characters. No. We have to kill these characters. We got toys to sell. So they went ahead. They did it. And Tom, what happened?
They traumatized an entire generation of children.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dying. Ugh.
That's right.
Well, Disney did that with like The Lion King. I think that's how they control people. I think that's how they get people to be kind of cult followers, is you use that kind of mentality. It's like in The Kingsman where they're trying to get him to kill his own dog. You know, I think it's like that, or in gangs where people have to jump each other in and beat each other up, or in, you know, cults where you have to like do really horrible things to each other. I think that's part of it. You traumatize somebody, and then they're easier to come in and protect.
To a point, I think part of the problem was just Hasbro just seen dollar signs. Because you got it.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think they were really thinking of the impact they were going to have.
You know, me and my brother watched Transformers for 3 or 4 years waiting for Optimus to come back because we knew one day he would come back. Then one day they went out to the statue of Optimus Prime and we're like, yeah, they're going to bring him back. And then they did.
But actually, you were right, though. I mean, they thought the new toys were going to sell gangbusters just because they were in the movie. Oh yeah, kids are going to see these new characters in the movie, and then they're going to go to Toys R Us the next day, and they're going to buy them. Nope, didn't happen that way. And that's what actually partly led to the decline of Transformers.
They could have made so much more money by keeping the original characters.
But they don't learn, though. I mean, they don't learn. They come in. You get the money guys, like I said, like Les Moonves. We gotta make money on the Star Trek, you know. And it's got to be new. It's got to be newer. It's got to be shinier. It's got to be explodier.
Yeah, they didn't kill off the Ghostbusters or the Ninja Turtles. That would have been weird. They just kept adding people so you'd buy more toys because you're invested. That's how you make money.
That's right. Yeah. Culture Casino sends in $2. Speaking of money, for being limited. Oh, and fuck Star Trek. Yeah. It's
definitely fun.
Look, Star Trek is always the type of IP though that you could just ignore certain series and you know, if they make a new one, it's back. Yep. It's not like Star Wars where it's like you broke the fucking plate glue back together. You know?
Yeah, one of the
biggest dead forever in Hollywood. It's the biggest Lazarus industry that we know of.
The one question I run into more than any in this business is, which one is beyond repair most, Star Trek or Star Wars? And the answer generally goes to Star Wars because unlike Star Wars has never expanded its universe beyond novels and comic books and video games. Star Trek has had several TV shows, several movies, several different crews. They've kind of destroyed Picard. But if you haven't seen Picard, you can just go on with your life living, you know, the end of Picard is what happened at the end of Star Trek The Next Generation or Nemesis, however you want to put it. Like, I mean, that's just, you know, you can go on living like that. Same thing with Discovery. People could easily ignore Discovery.
I think it's a big help that Star Trek started as a TV show and Star Wars only had the couple of movies there.
Well, and that's what I was getting to is it hurts because you have your main characters that were basically killed off systematically on screen like a fucking slasher movie. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and talk about traumatizing watching your heroes die. I mean, that's just fucking anyway.
Well, that's
Red
also
Monarch-
one of the big worst
Star Trek
stigmas
has the
of
worst
the.
death ever, and that's
Well, not only
Captain
that,
Kirk.
there's been a stigma over the last like 8 or so years where managers for writers have saying that they can find it a lot easier to sell a product if you can kill one of the main characters. And it's like, well, why would you even do that? Like, why would you want to
It's the
impede
Logan
the
effect.
potential of your franchise? And it's just because,
It's the-
it makes it more real, makes it more of an emotional response. It's like, yeah, but you kind of want to achieve that emotional response without having to disappoint the audience's day. I mean, that's
You want to
pretty
know
much
why
it.
they
You
do
spend all
that?
the
Is
time-
because Logan was the most profitable X-Men movie ever. Period.
oh, this
it
was
cost
prior
the
to Logan
least.
even came in. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I was going to say because it cost the least to make, and it made the most money comparatively to its budget.
It was the best of those films, but
Yeah, but
doesn't
that's
make
not
it
what I'm
good.
getting at, though.
But
Yeah,
that's
what
the
I'm getting at,
denouement
though, is,
film. Yeah.
yeah. Red Monarch sends in $2. Hail, everyone! Finally, Jesse has come to meet. Actually, Jesse's on here quite a bit.
Yeah, I like hanging out here. I like talking about old movies and learning stuff.
There you go. And hopefully you guys are learning a thing or two as well out there. If not, at least you enjoyed the conversation, hopefully. And Karis sends in an Australian $10. Don't worry, I won't do the accent. Before I became an artist, I was an electric tech and worked at a government ammunition factory. One of the giant machines that made the 7.92 or 7.6. I am dyslexic today. Holy crap. 7.62 NATO rounds was made by Gulf and Western. Yeah. Well, that was the thing, is after Big Hollywood kind of fell in on itself, all the studios were bought up by beverage companies. Gulf and Western bought out Paramount. All these companies that had nothing to do with movies ever. Like, it was just a strange time, and but out of that grew, this huge influx of, people like Brian De Palma and Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and
Martin
so on,
Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, all these guys came out of that because these companies like Gulf and Western and Seagram's, I think it was, that bought Universal, wasn't it? And
then Coca-Cola bought Columbia.
Coca-Cola bought Columbia. Yep.
Mhm.
And so you had all these, like, they're like, we don't know how to make a movie. Here, kid, here's a couple $1 million, go make us a movie. And he came
But
back
the
with
thing
Star
is,
Wars.
they knew how to sell
kind of thing.
That's the big difference.
Exactly. That was-
contrast
yeah.
between then and now is those companies knew how to market stuff. Like, they could take pieces of crap and sell it to you and think you're buying gold. Like, that was this thing that you miss about marketing, because we don't get that anymore. It's now the exact opposite. It's now, well, your thing's really good, but I don't know how to sell it. So
Well, and
you
that was
gotta
the end
make
of
it
my
fit
little
this.
anecdote. Yeah, was that, these companies, they don't understand movies, but they know how to sell stuff. So that's where the 80s changed the way movies were marketed. Because you go back to older trailers, and even still in the early 80s, they were pretty crappy. Like, I mean, they kind of lost their way, and then you finally got back to, and that's where In a World comes from, because that started like in the late 80s. Like, then you started having a lot of those kind of advertisement, and the viral ads kind of started kind of thing.
Whenever
before
I
the
do
internet.
a watch party, I try to get the original trailer, and some of them are great, and some of them are just like,
They're just a couple of scenes slapped together, and they're just nothing. Or they show the whole fucking movie.
oh, I hate that. Don't show the ending of the movie in the trailer.
Well, back then they didn't give a shit because they knew everybody was
Yeah.
going to go see it anyway. It was good.
What I always hated that me and my brother used to pick out all the time was whenever they'd have trailers and we go to the movie and we were both like, what happened to that scene that was in the trailer?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking hate that. Drives me crazy. It just shows poor editing and poor communication.
Well, no. Well, usually what it is just that, and Script will back me up on this one. When they usually put those trailers together, they're still in the midst of shooting the film or in early pre-production or post-production, so like they don't know exactly what all's going to wind up in the movie yet. And sometimes it's just whatever footage they happen to send over to the trailer company. So they have
true.
no clue.
Because I think there's some shots in like the original Ninja Turtles trailer from '89 that's not in the movie at all.
Oh, that's typical. And I even have the radio commercial for Back to the Future that has an alternate take of Michael J. Fox saying you built a time machine out of the DeLorean. It's a completely alternate take, you can tell. So yeah, you have that, and that happens sometimes in trailers too. You'll get the alternate take. Like, most people bitched about how the best take of Part-Time from Harrison Ford was in the trailer. In the trailer, and it sucks in the movie.
On that note, though, I really wish that they would make movies longer, like to cram everything into the same time frame. It's like not all books are all different amounts of pages. So now when you want to do a movie of any book, it's going to be 90 minutes. I'd
Well,
rather
90 minutes is like your
I'll sit
standard
there and watch
runtime,
a
but
2.5 hour
as
movie.
well as years have gone by, the minimum threshold for a movie has gone down from 84 minutes to almost 72, just to get it shorter. But on top of that, you have the opposite with some of these epics, and in some cases, a Judd Apatow comedy where you're going 2.5 hours for something that doesn't need 2.5 hours. And
Exactly. Yeah.
what you really have to find is there's that sweet spot, especially for like a larger movie, like a science fiction film or
Like
a comic book
Terminator
movie.
2
An
was 2
hour,
hours
an
and
hour
20
45
minutes.
to an
Didn't even
hour
notice.
50 is pretty much your sweet spot because it's just shy of 2 hours, so you can get an extra screening in at a theater when theaters were open.
Oh,
And it's also
See?
long enough to give you enough time for good pacing and lots of character development and focus on set pieces and
That's the
one-liners and
big
all that
thing
stuff. Yeah.
was the running time had more to do with the rise of the Cineplex. Because prior to that, if you notice, like there was tons of epics all the time, Lawrence Arabia, Gone with the Wind, and a lot of these movies would show in 2-night engagements even. I'm curious because I've never been able to find out for sure how the tickets were counted for Gone with the Wind, if they just counted the one night or the 2 nights as one night, because I've never been able to find that. Because I know for a fact, because it premiered in Wisconsin in one of the bigger theaters, and that was one thing they always talked about was how it was a 2-night event. Like you had the 2 separate nights where you had to go to the first night and then come back the next night to see the rest of it. Like they actually didn't show the whole thing in one night.
that's
And
weird.
and then you also had intermissions and stuff like that. Well, that was the thing though. You only had 1 or 2 movies at most showing in a theater at a time. And then when the Cineplex came in, they needed more movies to fill theaters. And if your movie was more than 2.5 hours long, you'd lose a showing, like Script was saying. And then I think a lot of that changed again with the Lord of the Rings. I think the Lord of the Rings really changed a lot of that because they showed that you could make one of these big blockbuster movies that is 3 hours long and it can make its money in the theaters.
And that could have been longer because they had 15
I'm
days
glad
of
that
special
Well,
the
features.
theatrical
we have the
versions
extended
weren't.
editions, which prove how long they are. But I even remember with the regular Lord of the Rings films, the theaters that I got to see them in, they had intermissions, like 15 minutes to go, relieve yourself and then come back.
I didn't at ours. They didn't have intermission for Lord of the Rings.
In mine, no. I remember seeing Fellowship of the Ring. We were there for 3 hours actually, and then the lights come up. I'm glad to be making this journey with you, Sam. Same with you, Frodo. The lights came up. The guy in front of me says, "That's it." I'm like, "Dude, yeah, we've been here 3 hours."
It's like obviously he had no clue there was going to be 2 more movies.
Yeah.
Willie Woodward sent in $10, says Mecca is right about McDonaldization. Yeah, that's something we've brought up quite often in our discussions of nerd properties. I remember when I worked at Target, they jacked the prices for ST show DVDs because they got money. Also, Paramount owned Great America. Yeah, did I say Six Flags? I meant Great America. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
That's the other thing about the movies.
Six Flags is Warner Brothers, yeah, associated.
Like if you're gonna make a feature film that's 72 minutes long, it's like that's like a TV special.
Well, that's
Pretty
the
much.
old animated movie, basically. That was where, that was the sweet spot for Disney movies, was that 70,
72-minute.
75
A lot of those are
minute,
not short.
Yeah, oh yeah. Go look at all the classic ones. Disney movies didn't start to get long until Pixar came into the picture. And that's when I started bitching. Because I'm like, there's no way a 4-year-old is going to sit through a 2.5-hour movie in the fucking theater. Where does Pixar? Well, no, just Pixar. They get antsy in that last 45 minutes. Like Cars is a prime example. It's too long. It should have been not even 90 minutes. Because my son at the time, who was 5, and my nephew, who was 3-ish, they were already antsy and ready to go by halfway through the movie.
If you look at Woody Allen's movies, a lot of them rarely run over 90 minutes.
Yep.
Well, comedy has always had this thing with 90 minutes.
Yeah, except if you're Judd Apatow, as we saw already.
Well, yeah, but we see that's the problem is if you let somebody like a Judd Apatow go too far, you get a 2.5-hour fucking comedy, which is
and when you look at his movies, they're dramas with comedic actors playing the roles and throwing in quips as opposed to actual comedies.
And I'm one of the few people who will stick up for funny people, but that movie is way too fucking long.
Yeah,
it's 2 movies in one. That's half the problem. And it should just be. It could have been tightened up big time, and it might have been a much better film. And there's the same thing with The Revenant. I swear that movie could lose 30 minutes easy. There's
Totally.
so much excess garbage in that movie, and I get it. It's just because they want to show all the fancy, this, that. No, I don't care. Save that for the extended cut. I want to get in and out. I don't need to see a 3-hour movie about a guy who got bit by a bear. That's really what it boils down to. There's no other real fucking plot to that movie. It's a guy who gets bit by a bear and he survives.
Yep. But the other part too, and you'll remember this, Tom, because you used to run a video stores. There was the straight to DVD market, and a majority of the runtimes of those live action DVDs were 72 to 84 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's cheaper. The less time you got to spend everything down the line, and then, well, even back in the day before videos were long enough to carry 2-hour movies, they used to have time compressed movies.
Yep, and I think Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, you had to flip the DVD halfway through.
Oh yeah, the flippers back in the day before dual layers. Deranged Lunatic has a super sticker. What is it? I can't see what it is. You guys got it up.
After the dual layer DVDs, everyone says, "Oh, it's DVD skips." I'm like, no, it's changing.
Oh, it's a game over thing with a cloud puppy with a cloud ghost.
It's a
puppy,
ghost hippo.
Ghost hippo, yeah.
It's a ghost hippo. Must be a new one for Halloween. He got raped by the bear. Yeah, kind of. He got more raped than anything by that bear. That bear's questionable.
Melman.
Was that Melman? Did he get some work?
Melman's going to sleep pretty soon. Well, we're not going to hear from Melman until spring.
He sounds like Sadie.
Melman, you do not want to make Melman up early. Oh, trust me, he will be in a foul mood.
That
reminds me.
You found Melman at that flea market.
You did what?
We did. Well, no, that turns out wasn't Melman.
Oh, did you play him the video?
No, I didn't.
Video of that. That was funny. You found Melman.
No, I'm gonna have to send it over.
Just put it on your phone and hold your phone up to the screen.
The bear was gay. I'm not judging the bear. I mean, he might have been bi. You never know.
Ooh, a gay bear.
Bart the bear, the most prominent bear in movie history. I'm willing to bet that how much you want to bet? Was Bart the bear one of the bears that
was that Fair Great Outdoors?
Well, yeah, it's the one in Great Outdoors, but wouldn't that have been? Did he ever play Gentle Ben at all?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, I wonder if he ever worked with Clint.
Is he going to be at the Star Trek thing?
I doubt it. I don't think it's going to happen, dude. Oh, poor Melman.
Well, you guys should all just come party with me. There will be no convention.
I have no money right now, dude.
See, that's what I'm thinking. Rob, you want to go to Vegas in November?
November 1st through the 9th.
Well, the only other problem with it being in November is they got the shit in December, too, if they're still going to do that. But, yeah.
That's my only thing. It's like, well, I want to kind of save.
See, that is the thing, though. When there's a Star Trek convention, there's a bunch of sad sacks crying in their beers, clogging up.
Well, they're
bar.
planning a big Phantom Menace event to mix, and then Jessie Milestone's also having her birthday that week, the same week. So everybody's been kind of planning for that week, regardless if we have the convention or not.
Christmas birthdays are a ripoff.
Mr. Wolverine sends in $1.49 super sticker. Is it a thumbs up or a?
It's a black cat.
Ooh, we got some Halloween super stickers now. That's what's going on. Well, at least Halloween isn't canceled on YouTube. But somebody bringing it up earlier. What do you think they're going to do this year for Halloween? Do you think they're even going to let kids go out this year?
Yes.
Some places.
Well, I mean, they can wear masks, so.
Yeah, but
they should be wearing a mask. I mean, it's freaking Halloween, man.
Exactly, right?
I just question on whether or not parents will even let their kids go out and do it.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
my son's going out.
They might not be able to exchange candy, but they'll at least be able to go out on the town and, I don't know, watch other people's costumes or play games in the street or what have you.
Just look at the grocery stores. I mean, around here in Connecticut,
I swear this whole pandemic was just made up by somebody who has major OCD and wanted the world to change for them.
Right? Oh no, Howard Hughes. It's Howard Hughes. He's still alive.
Oh my god,
that would be amazing.
New conspiracy. It's Howard Hughes. He's still alive somewhere in a
He
room.
didn't
with
die.
nails
He just
on-
4 foot
all
long
those decades
fingernails.
creating this scenario so that he can finally
He had
implement it in 2020.
That's the thing is like I've been thinking. I know I hate to joke about it for the whole fact, but I've thought about that for a while. It's like really, this comes off like some elaborate plan.
elaborate
Right.
OCD thing. That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
He has,
See,
like,
this
a
is why we're
little-
not getting a James Bond movie this year because he failed, and we're facing consequences.
Maybe. It does feel like that though, because it's like, okay, now wear a mask and don't be near people and have hand sanitizer everywhere. Well, I like having hand sanitizer everywhere. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten sick in Vegas, when they were telling me it was no big deal.
Did you ever see the movie Melvin and Howard?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
About a guy he picks up a hitchhiker in the desert, an old man, and he goes, and they start talking. And he goes, by the way, my name is Melvin. What's your name? I'm Howard Hughes. And then played by Jason Robards.
I've never heard this.
It's based on a true story.
Huh.
And
Can't be any worse than The Aviator, which is one of my least favorite Scorsese films.
Oh yeah, that was.
The plane crash looked awesome.
Talk about movies being way too fucking long and pretentious.
See, that's the thing though. Like, at least it's an introduction to the person because nobody these days knows anything, obviously.
I
But
didn't
like
hate the movie,
how many
yeah.
people even know who Howard Hughes is?
It's unfortunate because he should be technically like a unit in history
Didn't
class.
he make Ferris Bueller in Home Alone?
Exactly.
That's John Hughes. Yeah.
He also made Clerks.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Willie Woodward sends in another $5. Thank you so much, Willie. Wanted to make it an even 20 to you guys, making me smile like an idiot. Thanks, crap. I just realized I got to throw some money at the toxic. I think they'll live. I think they'll survive. Thank you, though, Willie. Appreciate that so much. Deranged Lunatic sends in another super chat, $1.99. DiCaprio was asking for it. The big
Oh God.
It was what he was wearing.
Even if you want to talk to him in real life, if you're a chick, he sends over a guy to make you sign a non-disclosure agreement first.
Don't you wonder if that was a common problem, especially if you're wearing like bear skin? You just gotta
I bet
ride
it
it
would
out
be.
and let it happen.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the pheromones were still attached to it.
Just let it happen. Ride it out. Hopefully he won't eat you afterwards. You're good. Kyson sends in that's €5, right?
Euros. Yep.
Yeah. Tom, get some sleep. I actually did get a nap before the show, surprisingly. So hopefully I can wake up here eventually. Thank you so much, though, for that. I appreciate the well wishes. Mr. Wolverine 007 sends in another super sticker. I ain't got my thing up, so I can't see what it is.
I think it's a coffee cup with tired on the side of it.
Oh, why are you tired, 007? You need to save the world. Coffee is not enough. Daniel Edwards sends in $5. Tom. Everyone knows that the virus came from the pangolin. Oh, shit.
God.
What the hell?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse is awesome, and that South Park killed it.
That was
The
hilarious.
pandemic special, yeah.
Which is, I thought it was kind of funny that Gary didn't care for it because it really felt like that last joke was a poke at Pelosi, big time.
Anybody who canceled their cable like I did, you could still watch it for free on South Park Studios. Just toss it out there.
Yeah, and HBO Max has it and stuff. Yeah. Raging Rhino sends in a raging $1.49 super sticker. What is it?
It's a $4.49 and it's a pair going fist bump.
Peace bump. Yeah, we gotta get you on the show here. You gotta, of course, now you're in the chat. You're probably not busy today. We should have seen if you were able to come on because I think you missed out the last time the Geek Blend crew was on. But yeah, we gotta get you on here. It's been a while. South Park is not going to air till after the election. I think I've heard. Yeah, well, that's because they normally don't start until the end of October. We just got this as like a bonus, extra special kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they did this so they can buy some time. They do that too. They'll do these specials sometimes to buy themselves some extra time.
Did you see the behind the scenes thing? Everybody did this thing from home.
I was just going to say that. I didn't.
Computers and everything.
I didn't see that, but I'm assuming, and that
Looked like they were sending people server
That's what I figured they were
stacks.
doing, and that's probably why it's going to take them a little longer this year, probably, because normally it doesn't take them that long to put together an episode. But
Hey, this
4
ain't like
days.
your Walmart computer. They have to use like serious shit to make a professional show like that.
well, I'd use the term loosely because it's barely animated.
It's awesome.
It's a great show. Well, that's the thing is the writing. The writing is important. It's key. It doesn't matter how bad the animation is.
One thing though about it is that I could just see where they're going with the characters this season. Like they made Stotch, who's Butter's father, more of the crazy fall into everything character that Randy used to be, because Randy's too much of a main character now. Now he's just part of the plot.
He's
So
kind of become the
yeah,
Homer of
everything.
South Park, hasn't he?
He's so great.
And it's such like a different type of Homer, like a completely new path.
Oh, I thought this was America.
Yeah, since that would, I think, would be the watershed episode where he's like beating up all the dads at Little League baseball, and then
Yep.
like this took off. But I think the whole later on when they were doing cock magic, the gathering
Oh,
games,
yeah.
and then Randy went back to his college routine of
Well, every
horrible
year,
magic
every
tricks
season for like
regarding
the
his
last few years,
genitals.
he's had like a special thing every year. Yeah, and then it led up to the whole integrity thing, but there was that, and
Yeah, since about season 12, he's really became a real main character constantly.
no, he's what I fear I'm going to turn into if I have kids.
I already have.
I like the
Woodward-
Guitar Hero episode because he was just like, "Why don't you just learn how to play guitar?" And they're like,
There you
"That's
go.
lame." And he's like, "What the fuck?"
You know what? The sad part is, I'm probably the most like Randy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Guitars are for old people.
but Gerald is a troll, so I'm kind of like Gerald too.
Like that's totally me though. Like that scene where they're playing Guitar Hero, and he's like, "I could play that song on guitar," and he pulls out the guitar. Anyway, Willie Woodward sends in $5. Scorsese, pretentious. I'm shocked. Tom, did you know that water is wet? Actually, pretentious is something Scorsese is generally good at, though. That was just probably one of his least film. Again, I like The Aviator. It's a good film, but it's just
It didn't feel like it had the same passion behind all the others. That was what I
You know, when I see Leonardo DiCaprio in any movie, I just see Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't see Howard Hughes. It's just Leonardo DiCaprio playing himself as somebody else.
You have that problem, and I hated him. I mean, I straight up fucking hated him with a passion for years.
And he's always going to look 12 years old to me.
Well, there's that issue too, but the movies that really kind of flipped it for me were Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, I was right about to bring that up because that's a good ass movie.
And then between that and The Departed, I was like, you know what? I can't hate this guy anymore. He's doing too damn good. Even though in The Departed, I still stand by they should have flip-flopped him and Matt Damon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now the only thing that sours me on Catch Me If You Can is that there's like a lot of people on the internet are saying odd things about Tom Hanks these days.
I don't know.
But that's all hearsay.
That's the thing.
You know what? I should have never read The Bourne Identity before I saw the movie, because
the book's way better.
Yeah, I hate being that guy saying, "Oh, the book's so much better," but it was. But the other thing too is if you read the book, Jason Bourne is nothing like Matt Damon.
No,
Jason Bourne is more like
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
You know, they never meant for that to be a joke, right?
Nope. The puppet face kind of melted a little.
Because they actually are friends with Matt Damon.
Really?
We're friends with Ben
Guys,
Affleck,
come on.
but they picked on him pretty bad, and I guess he had a pretty good sense of humor about it. The only one who didn't really have a good sense of humor, from what I heard, was Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, well he's an asshole.
Yeah, because they were friends with him. Were the operative word, I guess.
You ever watch the DVD special features where they were Matt and Trey were talking about when they went to his house?
Yes, yeah. Well, that's what
He was
spawned
like,
from. Yeah,
they thought that he was like setting up speakers around him so that they could give him notes on like a track, and he was like,
Yeah.
like you could do without the hand claps. He's like, you can't take out the hand claps. This is like, dude, get off it.
Russell Crowe is a jerk. He delayed so many days of production on Cinderella Man. It's not even funny. Just because he wanted to ride his bicycle.
Okay.
Yeah, weird.
What's wrong with my bicycle?
The only movie his I really ever really liked was Beautiful Mind.
I didn't care for that one that much.
That was okay. I mean, again, that's another
Alright.
one where the book is better.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is with him is I like him,
Gladiator.
I like him better in secondary roles or supporting roles.
Virtuosity, man.
Well, like even as I hate him as an actor. Don't get me so I'll just be upfront about that. But he was one of the few things in Man of Steel I didn't hate.
No, he did a good performance in that one. Yeah, it was just kind of ridiculous that a scientist was able to beat up a general.
Well, there's all kinds of stupid shit in that movie. Let's not even get into that. But before I piss off the Snyderites, I'm just saying, like, he's the thing is I like him better in his supporting roles. I don't like it when he's the main. I don't like any of his movies where he's the main actor, except for maybe Gladiator. And I really have not watched that since it first came out on DVD. I've got the 4K, but I never even bought it on Blu-ray originally. I just got it on 4K because I got it on sale. Timothy Wolf sends in a 99 super chat and doesn't say anything, but just shows some support there. Thank you so much. Sander Hammerschlag sends in a €1.99 super sticker. I can't see what it is. I got to bring up the thing again. I might as well just bring it up here and leave it up.
Sander Hammerschlag, €1.99.
It's a behind the scenes clapboard. Interesting. We got some new stickers, evidently.
Oh,
Man, look at that.
Anna D.R. Moss says she's tired of waiting for the new Bond movie.
Well, you're gonna have to. No, you got no time to wait, huh? Well, you got to wait a little bit longer. Mr. Wolverine said that coffee was for me, by the way, and thank you. And Raging Rhino's just lurking, so he doesn't want us to feel bad. He's just saying that. I'm sure. He's like, I won't be in the show. No,
I forgot about L.A. Confidential.
Yeah, Trenchman. I got to see that again. $1.99 from Trenchman says Jared Padalecki should play Cyclops.
Is that the Supernatural guy?
I think so, if I remember right.
Oh, I saw him in the Friday the 13th remake. He was not very good.
He was one of the better parts of the movie, but yeah, that movie sucked.
Actually, I think the blonde guy was one of the better parts of the movie. He was hysterical.
You know the coolest thing about the Friday the 13th movie?
Kane Hodder.
No, because he's not in the new one, remember?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
No, but you know the coolest thing about the 2009 movie is that it's actually in the same universe as Transformers. That's the only cool thing.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, you know the guy that is talking about the chick's amazing tits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same boyfriend that's the same character that's in Transformers that breaks up with what's her face? Megan Fox.
That's fucking weird.
That's right.
Isn't it?
That's the actor who I
the
actually
same
enjoyed
exact
watching
character
in that movie because he's hysterical. Yeah.
So her boyfriend got hacked up by Jason.
Yeah, fucking.
Fuck him. He was a dick.
My thing is, don't making a Friday the 13th movie now and not using Kane Hodder is like not using Robert Englund to play Freddy. Like it's just a spitting in the face of like every fan of the franchise. Because with Jason, I know that up until they got Kane Hodder, it was a different actor in every movie, but he was the real one.
Yeah, he had the most passion for it. That's for sure.
Scary motherfucker.
The Jinja Ninja. I like that name. What is that, Rob? That's 5.
That is 5.
The Jinja Ninja?
Yen.
That's 500 yen.
Wow. We got so
and I think that guy maybe have read a screenplay of mine from like 8 years ago because I have a character in there named the Jinja Ninja.
You can see the mountain where the volcano lair is in the only twice in my backyard. Crazy thing. Most people don't know it was filmed here.
That's cool.
Wow. I can't believe we got people from China listening besides
you know what?
That's
Entertainment Hacker.
Japan.
When you watch the
Or Japan, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sean Connery trying to pretend that he's a Asian guy just so didn't work.
No, it's not okay because now I'm going to be called a racist. Well, I'll get up the list. Yes. Never mind.
Again?
I'll get on the list.
Again?
I'm really trying. Really trying.
His hair just looks so fake, but it made it funny and good and cheesy, so I liked it.
And Chef Carolyn sends in $2 for Rob and his Giants.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I remember you bitching about the Giants the other day.
How do you put up 9 points? How do you only put up 9 points, you idiot? For God's sake.
And I apologize. Hail to Japan. I knew what I meant.
Yeah, like I would seriously love to go party in Tokyo for a week. That'd be cool.
Because yes, Entertainment Hacker lives in Japan.
$50 pretzel.
But we can do Fund Hollywood together. Get your shirt now. Show them how you really feel. That's right.
That's
Better watch
guys,
out for your store gets disabled for being political.
You guys ready for a cool graphic? Ooh,
That's right.
that's cool.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Very classy.
How'd you make that?
I'll show you the website. Adam Wolford in the universe where Jason from Crystal Lake and Transformers from another galaxy. So can we blame the Allspark?
You know, that
Jason.
didn't necessarily have to be lightning that hit that fence post. It could have been part of the Allspark branching off as the meteor was traveling by or something. You can write yourself out of a corner on that.
He's an anomaly.
yes.
He's the only one that can stop us.
What Prime?
Autobots, transform!
Ready, Prime?
Get him right in the hockey mask. Kills Bumblebee.
What
and
is that? A
shit.
James Brown Transformer you're doing there, Rob?
Yeah, something like that.
Hey,
Good no. Gonna transform. Yeah, kiss myself.
It's supposed to be Scatman Crothers, but
It's a pair of his magic shoes to transform.
transform.
Yeah, like have him have like fucking have him doing like the voice of Jazz or something. You're like, transform. Haven't seen it. Haven't you? What? Has that him you? What? I said, if I transform, I could hook up my shoe. I don't want to. Hot tub, too hot. Go burn my toe. Hey, good lord. That's a James Brown lyric. I need something right here. Hey, hey, that's pretty good.
That's good.
That's pretty good. He starts talking to the band. He loses them. You guys ready? Yeah. Moving. Yeah. Grooving. Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck is James talking about? I don't know. I'm getting paid. Just say yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My buddy Dave Sheehan had a hot tub put in his at his place. I said, you could get a robe that says hot tub man number one.
Too hot. Can't get in a hot tub. Gonna burn myself.
It's James Brown sitting having a hot tub party. And here he is, Godfather of Soul. Hot tub man number one, James Brown.
You ever been in a hot tub in the wintertime?
No.
It's pretty damn cool. Like you can
Yes.
grab snow, you can like lean over and grab like a big snowball and dunk it and pull it out. It's just like block ice. Pretty weird.
Soul brother number one.
There's the gas place I used to work at. They used to sell propane. A lot of people have hot tubs. There was a story about, I don't know how true it is, a story about how the heater broke down and the people in it fell asleep and they died and they were frozen in a block of ice in the hot tub.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That
was
sucks.
grim. Thanks for that.
Like the ending of The Shining with the Jack Nicholson type of look.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
the
I can see
Donner
that
party
happening
Christmas
because you're
party.
in that nice warm water, so you fall asleep, and then as it gradually cools, you don't notice it enough to wake up, and next thing you know,
Yeah.
you're
You
frozen.
get hypothermia and shit. Yeah, it's like the Donner Party Christmas special or something.
At least there's plenty of meat.
Huh?
At least there's plenty of meat.
Yeah, right. Secret Prayer says Rob is doing a G.I. Joe documentary. That's sweet. Yeah, he's working on one. I've been working on something for the Turtles, but I think I'm gonna have to split it up since if I don't do something soon, I'm gonna miss the anniversary of the first film. So
This is actually growing, so we might have to do this in two parts, Tom.
yeah, maybe. If not, it'll just be something that we'll just have to keep working on in the background. So
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys haven't heard, we got a kind of a new schedule going. We're doing Midnight's Edge in the morning every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then we'll be dropping videos the other days. And of course, Midnight's Edge After Dark will stay on its normal time. I was thinking about maybe moving the show to Tuesdays to so kind of have that bounce off of the main channel, but we'll see because this is kind of our spot. It's always been kind of a good spot for us, so we'll see how that goes. I don't want to
I like
change too
that
much.
idea of doing morning shows because there's not enough shit to watch in the morning.
Well, it was kind of Andre's baby, and I did my best to make it work for him. And I think this morning went off pretty well. If I could talk, we had Critical Drinker and Mr. H show up to surprise Andre, so that helped. And he had a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And it sounds like we're gonna have a lot more to talk about in the next few episodes. So yeah, if you guys want to listen to Andre talk about all his inside news, that's the time to check in on the main channel for Midnight's Edge in the mornings. Gotta Swim doesn't want us to move the stream. Probably not, because I think we'll end up bumping into somebody if we move it to Tuesdays. And that's one thing I don't want to. That's why we already moved the show to Thursdays to begin with, because we were bumping into Gary with a nooner. So we'll see. Not likely, but we'll see. But yeah, I hopefully want to get that at least part of it done. The first film Ninja Turtle documentary done there sooner than later. But yeah. So yeah, I think that we've beat this horse to death. I think. Did we miss anything, Mecca? I know you sent. I think we got to everything you sent in.
I think we got it.
Yeah, I think we did. But I mean, pretty much that's everything's kind of at a standstill again. We're kind of back at square one. It feels like, considering most productions that have gone into production have been shut down. And what has anything really started up, Script Doctor, that you know of?
Other than a couple of TV shows that are filming in downtown Toronto. No, nothing. And the thing is, those are kind of up in the air right now because the whole province is kind of fighting with the premier right now because things are kind of going good in one direction, but some of the premier's newest things have been taking us a couple steps back. So everything is all up in the air right now with what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. But right now, everybody's fighting as much as they can to keep things as they are so that production can still keep going, businesses can still be open, and people can still go to work. So we'll probably know something after Canadian Thanksgiving, which is in a week.
Yeah, and Christian Garcia. Yeah, we do have the High Council on Tuesday. So if we did move it, it'd basically be like a lead into that. But we'll see. I mean, again, I don't want to keep moving everybody's schedules on everybody. And, Mecca's got her stuff she's got to do and all that kind of stuff too. So I don't want to disrupt everything. But we'll discuss that and we'll let you guys know for sure. Action Com sends in $5. What do you think the Oscars are going to be like this year? Boring as shit. And a bunch of virtue
Hopefully
signaling.
quick. Hopefully really quick. Like
they might as well
20 minutes.
just call it the Black Oscar, the mentally disabled Oscar, the homosexual Oscar, the lesbian Oscar, the queer Oscar, the bisexual Oscar, the Asian Oscar, because they don't know the difference. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, the Diversity in Film Awards. That's what it is.
The Diversity in Film Awards with your host, Whoopi Goldberg.
It's not very diverse.
Nah, she wouldn't do
it.
How y'all doing? I'll be Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm so sick and tired of these shows. Good morning, evening, night, twilight, afternoons, Edge show, says Mr. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people suggest their titles, but this was actually something I actually brought up to Andre a long time ago, and I talked about it with a few people about a morning show, and everybody kind of agreed that Midnight's Edge in the morning kind of has that weird oxymoron kind of sound to it, but it's still
Well, it's alliterative.
Yeah, alliterative. That's what it is. Yeah,
Also alliterative.
Yeah, so it just kind of works. But yeah, I've seen some pretty funny ones that you guys have come up with. That's pretty cool. So just don't do too many, because then Andre you'll make him think that he made the wrong decision. he reads your guys' messages more than you'd think. And Karis sends in an Australian $5. Thanks so much for another super chat. It says D&D started production in Iron last week. I've been doing concept art for it since July. Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Cool. That's right. Oh, that's right.
Well, if
Yeah,
everything's stable in Ireland and they can still film, that's great to hear.
Yeah. So, yeah, if there's any cool stuff you can send our way, definitely slip into my DMs.
No dick pics.
Rob likes that stuff.
Really? I'll make sure to hit you up, sugar.
It's gonna, instead of Oscars So Black, though, or not black, it's gonna be Oscars No White this year. I think Nolan has a chance by default. Your
I don't know,
nominees
that
for
was
this year's
one of his
Oscars
movies.
are Trolls 2, Birds of Prey, Tenet,
Sonic the
Bill and
Hedgehog.
Ted, and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
Oh, and
Bill
Bad
Ted
Boys.
might clean up.
I would
Bill
say
and Ted
Sonic the
might
Hedgehog
clean
and
up.
Bill and Ted are far better films than narratively wise than Tenet. Tenet, great special effects film, not a good story overall. Not for me.
And then Mr. Wolverine comes in with oxymoronics. It's okay. I'm done. No, you guys have been doing some great ones, though. I've seen some pretty funny ones on there. I'm getting a kick out of reading your new titles for the morning show. It's awesome. But yeah, no, that would be interesting because if going by their rules, the movies have to be in theaters, right? So, like pretty much by process of elimination, the only movies that are going to be up for Oscars are the only 5 movies that actually managed to get into theaters this year.
Yeah, and they have 5 more categories they have to fill.
Trolls 2, I don't know if you can even count that one because it did go to theaters after the fact. It was one of the movies.
You know?
It did, but it was way after the fact because they were showing it at the drive-in like 3 weeks ago with whatever other older movie they were showing. They were showing Trolls 2. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So,
well, there's Free Guy that's supposed to come out December 11th, but that might be delayed.
Oh yeah, I want to see that too because it's like Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, yeah, it's actually it's got a fun little narrative in the background of it that's really quite appropriate for today's time.
Isn't that one of the ones that
that's the
Santa Claus
script.
sent me the script for? Oh yeah, whoever, Santa Claus, whatever.
Well, I have the script. Maybe someone else sent it to you. I don't know.
I just love that they go in and
I read
rob
it.
the bank. And the guy
I read it
just
years
like,
ago.
this
It was a great movie.
Santa Claus is always sending me shit in my emails. All right, kids. I think it's good as time as any to call it a day. I want to thank everybody for hopping in and listening to us. I want to thank my panel, of course, as always. And I think we've earned a minimum effort puppy today. I gotta get the other puppies on here. The only new puppy I got is Sleepy Puppy. I gotta get the other puppies on here.
Sleepy
Well, I
Puppy's
just have
awesome puppy.
I just have Sleepy Puppy because I think it was Culture or whatever it was that made it for me. I can't remember who now. I think it was Culture. I don't remember. I am so sorry.
I like that dog because he exercises like most people.
We get a Fenton.
Jesus Christ! Fenton!
That was for Rob for not answering me earlier. Go get your Defund Hollywood t-shirt. Check out Mecca's channel. Check out Jesse's channel. Check out Scripps channel. Even check out Rob's channel. And yeah, I think we didn't miss any super chats or nothing, did we?
I'm going live in about 20 minutes. Fan base board, so
I don't think so. I think we're all caught up.
We caught up on all of them. All right, good. All right, guys. I want to thank you as always for hanging out with us here on the one, the only Midnight's Edge After Dark. Thanks again, guys. See you next time.
Just when you think this show is terrible, something wonderful happens.
What?
It ends.